end of the year activities. Yeah, Mr. Yudo, in your own general perception, how do you look at public relations at this season?
All right, once again, thank you for this opportunity. Nice to be here once again. The end of the year, we are arriving the end of the 365 days journey. From today, I think it will be about 37 days or 38 days or there, about 35 days, 45 days to the end of the year. And that's 38 days to Christmas.
This year is so fast.
And exactly, so the journey of the 365 days running, we just have about 45 days to hit and then 38 days. And usually, that period, in Nigeria in particular, is a big celebration for everybody. You have so many nostalgic feelings. That's why people talk about the Ember Month. A lot of people begin to rush and believe that that's the period you must have a landmark achievement for that year, and therefore a lot of things is organized. In those days, the good old days of Nigeria, I'm not saying Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is not that bad, but the good old days, we begin to count 100 days to the end of the year and to Christmas. That's when we begin to do so many things. Therefore, relationship with people becomes very important and necessary. And today, there is an art of classroom definition of public relations PR. The definition or the interpretation simply means being good to everybody. You have a good relationship with everybody.
Being fair to everybody.
Being fair, being nice to everybody. That's why you say he does not have a good PR. He has a good PR. Simply put, he's a good person. He understands his fear, like you said. So that brings a whole lot of responsibility and assignment to those who are officially in public relations assignment. Again, in those days when I was a young reporter, I know that my editors, my guys, will have so many assignments. We have AGM, end of year meetings. I remember it runs even to you have end of year this, end of year that, organized by the corporate affairs or public affairs department or the big companies, even the small, medium companies where gifts are exchanged. Those departments have their budgets for this from the beginning of the financial year kept. And they want to let you know that it's been a successful year business-wise. I remember that we have memorabilia produced, calendars, diaries, and other souvenirs from such companies to give to people. So it brings a lot of assignments. It's a busy period for the public relations department of people, and for those who naturally or who believe in that definition of the art of classroom definition of what public relations means, like I said. So even from family to family, I'm sure we will begin to see hampers displayed around. People are thinking, cracking their head, the list, the number of those I have to mark. What do I give so person?
Thank
and
you.
So on and so forth.
Thank you so much. I gave the former state coordinator a space. Reenacting your experience as a public relations expert, what will you be saying about this season and public relations?
Thank you very much. And thanks for the opportunity to be here.
It's a pleasure.
Good evening, Nigerians. I'm glad to be here today. Public relations, like my colleague said, is about doing good. It's all about building goodwill between an organization and its various publics. There is no organization that can survive on its own. Organizations have various publics, both internal publics consisting of your staff and external publics, your clients and other people who relate with you to make your business a success. And usually at the end of the year like this, like he said, there is a lot of activities to mark the end of the year. But for any serious organization, before you begin to maybe host parties and things like that, there should be an inward look, a kind of SWOT analysis. How far has this organization or company gone for the year? What were our strengths? What were our weaknesses? What were our opportunities? Opportunities we probably grabbed or we lost. And what? Because with this kind of SWOT analysis, you're able to know where your company stands. Then, towards the end of the year, you blow your trumpet based on your strengths and the achievements you have made and people who have contributed to that achievement. So that brings in the issue of a lot of activities that are lined up for the end of the year. But in-house, you look at your weaknesses and you ensure that you find a way to douse those weaknesses so that they don't often crop up again.
When you talk of blowing someone's trumpet, what do you exactly mean?
What I mean is this. If an organization has done so well in the year, and there are certain people who have contributed outside of government, for instance, let me take a private organization. Maybe it exceeded its sales target. And there are people, the salespeople, the customers, who helped to make this possible. Then it blows its trumpet. We expected to make these sales, but we exceeded it by maybe 50%. And for that reason, this customer, that customer, or this salesperson, that salesperson has even exceeded what we expected him to bring in. And so he's given an award. There is an end of year party where awards are given, both staff award, awards to clients, even if it's in a school setup. Maybe a school goes for WAEC or any of these external exams, and they score about 97%. It's wonderful. They'll blow their trumpet. So the staff are appreciated. Okay. And the school now uses it as an opportunity to tell the world what it stands for, that organization, tell the world what it stands for, and what it hopes to do better in the coming year, so that they will have more patronage. So in doing all this, you are building goodwill, which is public relations, for your organization. Remember, we are in a competitive world. And the better people know about you, the better your products that you shone out and get known for it, the better people will patronize you. If your school does very well, people won't mind pulling their children from other schools and bringing them to your school. So, end of year, you celebrate for the students, you appreciate them, you make them feel happy, you make them feel good. You celebrate for your lecturers, your teachers, and all the publics. Government, there is a need for government also to take a holistic view of what it had done for the year and reward outstanding civil servants and use it as an opportunity to tell the public, this is how far we have gone in serving you. But we hope that in the coming year, 2024, we will do this, we'll do that, we'll do that to serve you better.
Thank you, Madam.
Increases confidence.
Thank you, Madam. Billy, Madam just broached the issue of government. When you look at the issue of governance and citizenry, did you or are you seeing government impacting the activities with public relations strategies and approaches?
Well, for organized government, of course, in private or business, government is called the administrators, the management. But I suppose we are talking about the government, the political government institutions, as it were. I think the public relations of government is the Ministry of Information or the ones we also call the media team. Usually at the federal, it is the minister, at the state, it is the commissioner and his team.
Do you see them activating those PR strategies?
It's yes and no, and I'll explain what I mean by yes and no. Unfortunately, for what we have today, Madam does talk about internal and external public, the customers. Unfortunately for government, the way it is practiced today, it is not a collective thing. I'm being sincere. Government sees only those, one, members of their political party, and those who work with them as their customers, as their public, forgetting that the entire citizenry, either at the federal or the state level, are their customers. So that's why I say yes and no. On that part, looking at the entire citizenry as their customer, they don't do much. They don't. But I'm aware that there are internal customers, which is within themselves. There is always something for them to feel that we are approaching the end of the year. That's why in the government we have what they have, is it Christmas bonus, the shillings payment, the 31st.
Talking about the 13th
month,
and so on and so forth. They even exchange gifts. There are special recognition, like Madam said. There are parties, awards, but all within them. So I just encourage those who are their PR team, that is the Ministry of Information, to look at the entire citizenry as their public, as their customer.
What about communities?
Well, with government, relationship with government, for most communities do. I'm aware, for instance, my community and so many, even organizations, social clubs, even families, plan so many things towards the end of the year. Faith, religious bodies, that they say we want to roll over, or what they call it, and some will say we have 7 days fasting and prayer to thank God. That's part of the public relations thing. Ensure that their members are together. They even give gifts. They appreciate them. They look at their SWOT, like Madam said, and they appraise the year. What did we lose? Why did we achieve this? Why did we lose this? Which is the ideal thing. But I think many of such people do. They do. In the contemporary Nigeria, despite the hardship and difficult times, a lot of people, I'm aware of it, but I already have invitations for such things for the year.
Okay, maybe because you are an elite.
Maybe because I'm on the external list.
So talking about what is the connection with the grassroots people?
Well, for the community, particularly the CDA, that's why for every year, we are aware, unfortunately, there are sad stories to it. They said the youth carnival, street carnival, and so on and so on. So many of those things where, for instance, in my street, the young ones are already taxing with the adults. They've already fixed a date for the one they call the street carnival. All moving towards the public literature. And believe it, most times, the street boys who are no longer living in the streets or elsewhere come around to participate, to see their old friends in the long time we have not seen. Perhaps for the year, we saw only once for the year, an opportunity for them to also. A lot of them are planning it and they are ready for it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mrs. Bakari.
Yeah.
When we look at the family setting, what do we expect? Looking at, reflecting. In those days, young ones, I in particular, I always look forward to Christmas and New Year. It brings me joy. I don't want to relate all those things we used to do, but I always
look forward to
it. So, what should families do this moment?
Thank you very much. Like you said, there's no way you talk about this that smiles will not come to your face when you remember what it was in our days. By this time, Christmas dress is ready. by this time we are very sure that at Christmas we will eat rice. Chicken will be slaughtered.
But rice is common now.
Or something like that. Yes, today rice is common. There is no doubt about that. But you will agree with me that nowadays parents really have to sit down and take stock and plan ahead. That would be my genuine suggestion.
Piece of advice.
Yeah, to mothers, to fathers, to families. Plan ahead for the Christmas. Why do I say that? There are many people who get into the Christmas mood. They want to buy dress, they want to buy shoe, they want to kill cow, they want to buy drinks, they want to, you know, just splash the money. And by January, there's no penny left. There's no kobo left. And your children are supposed to go to school in January. How do you go to tell a proprietress that you don't have school fees to pay? Because you have just finished a festive period. So there is need for parents, genuinely speaking, much as we want the children to feel happy, do all that we want to do for them at Christmas, we should be very careful with our budgeting. During the Christmas, let the children be taken out. Apart from food at home, let them go maybe to Obasanjo Library and go picnics, to Lumorok. Take them around. Let them see places within the town. We have enough sites within Abeokuta or in Ogun State, as it may be, or wherever you are listening to me. I'm sure in wherever you are, whatever vicinity, there are places you can take these children to for picnics, relaxation, and refreshment during the Yuletide. They will go to visit Father Christmas, Santa Claus, maybe in television stations, in radio stations, anywhere they are. Please make the Christmas so memorable for these children that they will be very glad and feel fulfilled. But at the same time, don't overindulge them to the extent that you don't have their fees to pay or money to take care of them come January. That is very important.
Well, as good, I want to believe that parents are listening as they are watching you talk. Mr. Yodo, I want us to go into the area of the role of philanthropists. Is this not the moment that people look to us, philanthropists?
No doubt about it. And I want to agree that despite the difficult times, we still have some people who make effort to do so. There's no doubt about it that sometimes some of these things we said, some people will say are easier said than done. I'm talking about planning ahead. Let me take it back to corporate bodies. They prepare their budget for about 12, sometimes 13, 14 months ahead. Even though sometimes implementing the budget becomes difficult. And it is the same way in which it is in family life that we are talking about private life. Madam just brought a nostalgic moment for me. It's a long period. For those of us who grew up in the village, a village boy like myself.
Now in the town?
Well, now heavily in the town.
Okay.
But the truth is, in my days, 60s, rice and chicken are eaten only twice in a year. I'm not ashamed to say so.
It's true.
I'm not ashamed to say so.
It's true. That was it.
That is an everyday thing today. In my days, it is twice a year. The Christmas period, and in those days, for those of us who are Christians, we call it harvest or bazaar. For those of us who are in the Orthodox or Anglican or those are the two periods in which I eat rice and chicken. Now, planning ahead, personal experience, what I did myself, because my wife is that kind of person that she's so traditional about this. There's this subtle threat on me. She counts down, like I said, from 100 days. She's the one who reminds me about the days. We have a calendar in the house. We change it, the days. So every time she reminds me the year is going to an end. We have not bought this. We have bought this, it will remain this. So from 100 days, we've been in May, That was what I bought a RAM for 60,000. And I've been assured I know that by another 6 months, which is December, it should be ready for the mill. And that 60,000 in May, for sure, at the time it is ready to kill, it is over that price. So those are the kind of planning ahead. It may be difficult, but let's ensure that we keep to it.
Thank you very much. We will continue to discuss more. My guests are ready to give us a lot of revelations on how we can plan ahead for this Yuletide using public relations techniques and approaches. I want to thank you for this moment, this how far we can take. Mrs. Josephine Bakri, former state coordinator, National Youth Service Corps, and then a PR expert. I thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Dele Ayudo, it's also nice having you. Until next week, when we discuss fully on this topic, how public relations impacts on the end of the year activities. I am your anchor, Akin Kudaro. Stay connected.